Hi, I'm Kirk, and we live on a ranch, so I'm always real active and outside a lot, working a lot. And I guess my story started out with that I had an injury 26 years ago that crushed my left lung, and so I've had trouble with my lungs all along. If I catch a cold, it goes into my lungs. And so I went into the hospital on September 16th, and I had a pretty bad cough for probably a month before that. And so my wife and our friend that's our doctor had me go over and have an x-ray, and they said I had COVID pneumonia from looking at the x-ray. And so I came back home and they were going to put me on oxygen at home. And so then they said, well, you have to have a CAT scan to see if there's any blood clots. And so they did the CAT scan and I had blood clots, so they put me right in the hospital.
Hi, I'm Coralie. This is my story. I knew it was going to happen. I don't know.
It's okay. Take your time.
So I started not feeling well. And I was pretty sure it was COVID. So I went to the clinic to get tested. The nurse came out, did the test, and then the PA came back out, told me that it was definitely COVID, and that I was running a fever of 101. And as the story goes, she told me to treat it like the flu, to go home and take Tylenol for the fever, and get fluids and rest. I didn't know where to turn for help. You go to your doctor and then they just send you home. Where do you go? So I went home. 2 days later, I was in the ER. Couldn't breathe.
And so I was in the hospital for just under 2 weeks, and I was getting a blood thinner for the blood clots, and they were giving me Mucinex and like Tylenol if I asked for it, a few things like that, but really they didn't do anything for me other than the oxygen. And so a couple days, because the move took so long, my wife was able to come over and they ended up letting her stay in the room with me for the last couple days. And so she started giving me other medicine, not really medicine, but supplements and stuff like that. And so the thing is the room I had, they said that we could keep taking those. And so I was able to stay on those medicines. Well, I had the high-dose vitamin C, the zinc, the vitamin D, Ivomec, I think it was the hydrochloroquine, and it just, it was a little hard because they really felt, man, he is just improving so much. But there was some stuff they didn't realize we were doing too to help, and that was the agreement when we moved, that we could do that. So it just made a huge difference.
They put me on oxygen, CPAP, and I just laid there all day in the emergency room. And pretty soon she said, why don't you call your husband and your son and have them come see you? And I've found out since then that she thought that was the last they would see me. That she expected me to die. And so I was trying to stay in contact with him by text. And it was hard because I had a mask on my face. I didn't have my glasses on, but it's like I can't lose contact. So they tell me that they've made all the arrangements to get me out of there. I got in the ambulance. They had me down to like 28 on the oxygen. I did just fine. so I got home. They got me on oxygen at home. They started feeding me like every 2 hours, gave me anything I wanted to drink. I was nebulizing, which I hadn't done anywhere. Nobody had even told me. I mean, if the family clinic had said, go home and nebulize and check your oxygen levels and any of that stuff. I didn't know what nebulizing was. I didn't even know how to go about doing it. I got on medicine, hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, steroids. I was taking, all of that, and within a couple of days, I was already feeling better. I was still really weak. I couldn't get out of bed. I had to have help, but I felt like I was going to survive.
Would have been good if I would have got them 2 or 3 weeks or almost a month before. So I was kind of clear into it pretty bad before I was able to start taking them. But I started taking them, and I got home on the 16th or the 13th of October, and so here it is, the January 8th, and I'm still on oxygen, but not only about half what I had before. So I'm getting my strength back, and I'm being able to move around good. And where when I got home, I couldn't hardly even stand up out of a chair.
Eventually, after the 5 days, my oxygen was doing good. They had turned it down to a reasonable level so that I could use the portable tank to get around, and I was like on my road to recovery. So it's emotional because I came so close to dying. The people that really cared about me didn't give up, and with lots of prayer and lots of prayer, I'm here today to do this video.